Hi, everyone, and welcome to Women of a Particular Age podcast, where we discuss women's views, life lessons, and a little bit of sugar honey iced tea. I am Tara,
I am Heather.
and thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. My friend, how are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. How are you today?
Oh, man, I'm doing good, friend. I was a little tired, a little lazy. It's almost to the beginning of the week. We all got to go back to work. But of course, me and you got to come on here and talk with one another, talk about
That's
some
right.
issues. So that's what we're going to do. So I
Yeah.
appreciate it. So, Heather, look, before we get started, what do we do? All right,
Cheers.
let's do it. Cheers, my friend. All right, a good Cabernet. All right, so let's get started. So, folks, me and Heather, we always like to get together during the week and we like to talk about certain subjects that we wanted to talk about. And this was something that was really near and dear to our heart. So today, we wanted to talk about morning rituals. And the definition of morning rituals is a ritual in a sequence of activities involving gestures, words, actions, or reveled objects. Rituals may be prescribed by the traditions of community, including a religious community. Now, there are differences between rituals and routines. While routines can be mechanical and lack intention, rituals are infused with meaning. So that's why we wanted to talk about that. Now, there's a couple of different examples of rituals, which it could be meditating, it could be thinking mindfully, uh, even journaling, exercise, immersing yourself in nature, engaging in your mind, practice self care, and maybe even pulling out a planner. So, Heather, let us know, what is your morning ritual? What do you do?
All right. So there's a couple of things I like to do.
Okay.
One of them is I do like to journal. I like
Ooh.
I like to journal. So a couple of things. I mean, there are people that you can do a freehand journal, just a notebook or piece of paper. You wake up in the
Hmm.
morning, put the date on it, maybe put down what your intentions or your feelings are when you wake up.
Yes.
And you can find a lot of information on Pinterest and on YouTube for beginners who are journaling. But I'm going to just show you an example. This is one of my
Oh, great.
journals right here. Okay, so it's
Okay.
just a little notebook. And some days, most days, I do listen to a program called Growth Day.
Hmm.
Um, and what it does is it's a 15-minute talk uh, by this gentleman who kind of gives us inspiration. Maybe one day he'll talk about, growth or, fear or challenges, and
Yes.
then promotes it in a positive way and asks
Yeah.
very good questions so you can internalize inside. So I like to take notes and kind of, after I'm done doing that, I kind of go over my notes and try to apply it to my everyday living and
I
my
have a question.
intentions for that day.
I have a question. Tell me this. How long have you been journaling and what made you start?
Well, I think it's really important to take time out of your busy day, especially in the morning, because, now I work from home, which is great.
Oh,
But
good.
when I used to go to work, I'd always be rushing to get out of the house, and just get to
Yes.
work, deal with the traffic. Now
Yes.
I'm settled in more here. I don't have the commute time. So then I started journaling consistently. So I started doing this.
Okay.
Also, I there's affirmations that are good that you can
Yes.
Google, go to
Yes.
Pinterest or
And
things
and
like
ladies
that.
and gentlemen, just so you guys know, Heather gave me a beautiful box of affirmations. So every day when I get up before I go to work, I make
Mhm.
sure to take out an affirmation and go over it. They're so positive. The best gift ever is to give somebody positive
Yes, those are
affirmations for
really
every
nice
day.
because they have nice artwork and it has a nice thought for the day, and you can set your
Yes,
intention. The deck is like
yes,
52 cards, and you can get that anywhere. You can get them on
yes.
Amazon, wherever. Now, the other thing is, If you're a person that's new to journaling, another thing
Hmm.
that I would recommend is this is called a manifestation journal. They're very
Ooh.
inexpensive. You can get them at Barnes and Noble. I got mine at Barnes and Noble. I have another one on
Okay.
mindfulness, and
Okay.
this has asked questions, and then you just respond, and you
Yes.
can set your intentions. So, especially if you're
Yes.
new and you're not sure how to go about it,
Hmm.
this is a good way to get into it. And then once you start learning and you start getting the steps and the thought process and journaling,
Yes.
then you don't
Hmm.
really need this. But some people like to do it whether they know how to journal or not. So I just wanted to point this out.
You know what I like about the book? Because I love the middle word, manifestation,
Yes,
meaning that you bringing something to life. I don't think that people understand how important it is for you to manifest.
very important. You need to call those intentions out,
Hmm.
or put them on paper, write
Yes,
about them, set that
that's right.
intention, and do that
Yes,
every day. And that kind of sets your
yes,
foot forward for that day and what it's going to bring to you. If
yes,
you start on a positive foot or with some good intentions, I think it helps the day
yes.
go a little better. The other thing that do like to do is I like to doodle. Uh, s-
Okay.
uh, so getting into a little creative. Now, some people may knit, crochet,
Uh huh.
paint, watercolor,
Uh huh.
rock painting, whatever it may be.
Yes.
I do like to doodle. And I like to doodle because I just doodle freehand, but you can go
Okay.
to YouTube or wherever, and they'll give you little classes on that and they show you.
Yes.
And you know what? It's just, I like to, it's just, look. So let me show you. See, these are little, you see, it's like very
Yeah.
lighthearted and fun, And sometimes I'll do little flowers and things like
Oh,
that.
okay, girl.
Okay, so it's
Look,
just
look, look.
a way to tap into your creativity. Even if you think you can't, you can. Take just a little
Yes.
notepad with a pen, and you can do the tutorial, and you'll be amazed at what you can actually do. And you know what? It really relaxes me because when I'm drawing, I'm just
Hmm.
focused on that. I'm not focused about anything else. And guess what?
Yes.
That is a stress reliever. So I do
Wow.
enjoy that as well. And also prayer, prayer books are really good. You can get those. My mom, she always would send me different types of prayer books, and it's really nice. Like this is one that she sent me, and what it is, it's one for each morning, and it's real quick.
Yes.
It's 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes. It has a
Yes.
scripture, and then it has the thought to go with it, and how to apply
Okay.
it towards your day. So those are a couple of things that I like to do.
Okay.
And the other thing that may not people may not think of it as being mindful, but eating breakfast or having a light breakfast in a quiet space, just you and quietness, you to your thoughts,
Yes.
calm, taking the extra time to take care of yourself
Yeah.
and nourish your body. Have your tea or your coffee, toast, whatever it is that you like, and
Yeah.
just in a calm way to start your day instead of rushing through. Oh gosh, last minute I'm gonna do. No, you know what? I think the best
Yeah.
way to start your day is in a calm, relaxing way, setting that intention. So those are a couple of things. There's a lot of other things people do, but in particular, these are the things that I like to do.
Okay. Well, I think that they sound good. I mean, they're kind of some similar to some of the things that I do. I can tell you for me, um, the most important thing that I do in the morning, I can say for a morning ritual for me, is always going to be before work. I always get up and I pray. I'm going to make sure that I tap in with God every day. I always do that. I've been doing that since I was a kid. There's no other way that I could start my day without tapping into God. I always
Mhm.
tap into God. I make sure that I'm reading my Bible. I read my Bible at least 30 to 40 minutes every morning. And one of the reasons why I do that is because just for me, I want to make sure that during my day when I deal with people, I'm very intentional. You know, Heather, we've known each other for a little bit, and you know I am. I'm just very intentional. I try to make sure. that when I connect with people, that I'm not giving you any of my grief, any of my negativity. So I always try to start my day out that way. And I'm always making sure that I'm stayed prayed up and I'm ready to receive whatever somebody's going to give me. Because sometimes it's
Yeah,
not always about me. Sometimes it might be the negativity that you get from the other side. Because I can't control what's
that
going
is
on with
true.
somebody, but I
That
can
is
make
so
sure to
true.
control me. So what
Yeah.
I do is I do make sure that I do that on the weekends. I can tell you right now that my stress reliever right now is being busy running around, actually doing all this stuff as far as the podcast and the work. But I can tell you that there was a time that I did spend my weekends crocheting. That used to be something that me and my mother did together. We would spend our time crocheting, making blankets. So
Nah,
I think that those are all good rituals. Now,
yes.
let's talk about this. Heather, I don't know if you've talked to anybody about rituals, but what I can tell you is I did speak to a couple of my friends. I did speak to my mother-in-law, and I did speak with my husband. Now I can tell you, for my to my friends and my mother-in-law, same thing. They get up in the morning, they always pray, read their Bible, and I can tell you, for my husband, he told me that his thing in the morning is hip hop. He'll get in the car, and what gets him calm is to listen to some hip hop. So it gets
Mhm.
him ready to get on the bus and deal with strangers every
Yes.
day.
Yes.
So I don't know if you've talked to any of your family members. I don't know if they've told you what their rituals are,
Mhm.
but that is some of the rituals that I did get from a couple of other people.
Yeah,
So
most of the people that I know, I didn't really get a chance to talk to them, but I'm just saying in the past and having conversations, most of them do have a ritual of praying, whether it's in
yes.
the
Okay.
morning or morning and the evening. In the evening to reflect on what happened in the day and being grateful and
Yes.
thankful for what was happened. So that's a common theme for most of the people that I know is the prayer.
Okay. Okay. Well, great. Well, folks, I mean, as far as what we would like to express to you guys is to be a little bit more intentional about your life and how you move, meaning that make special efforts to put your best foot forward and to create positive thoughts. That's really what the morning ritual is about, is to start your day off on your best foot and make sure that's your best foot forward. So that's the reason why we wanted to talk about morning rituals, because we know that there's a lot of people that still work. We have a lot of things that are going on in our lives right now. And sometimes when we interact with each other, it's not always positive. But I do feel that if we all tried to start out our day on a positive note, we could probably interact with people just a little bit better.
Yes, I
You
agree.
agree, Heather?
I
Okay.
totally
All right. All right. So this is
agree.
what we're going to do. So, folks, we wanted to make sure that we gave you a little bit something else today while we were talking. So there was a movie that me and Heather both watched, okay? And the name of that movie was Netflix, The Untold Deal with the Devil, okay? Which was actually a very wonderful movie. Let me get the clip so you can see this wonderful woman. Give me a moment. See if we can find her picture here for you. That's what happens when you're live, folks. You just never know what's going to happen. Okay? Let's see. Do we have her picture? I know I thought I had it here, Heather. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, I can't find the picture. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it in here. Give me a moment, folks. Let's see. Here we go. See if we can get it. Uh, okay. Well, we don't have the picture, but we will talk about it. Okay. So, first and foremost, The Untold Deal with the Devil. It's a movie on Netflix. It came out in 2021. It's an hour and 18 minutes, and it is about the first most notable woman boxer, Christy Martin, who broke boundaries and noses as she rose to the boxing world. But her public persona belittled personal demons, abuse, and threatened on her life. Okay, Christy, she was a world champion boxer, and she was a Sports Illustrated cover star. She survived a brutal stabbing and shooting by her husband in 2010, and she shares her story of recovery, resilience, and the boxing legend. Now, when we start this story, she started boxing as a dare and she won $300. And once she won that $300, that's what got her started. Now, Heather, I know you saw this movie. Now, how was it when she met Jim Martin, which folks, a promoter introduced her to Jim Martin because the promoter wanted her to train with him. Heather, lead us up into the movie, how she met Jim Martin and how that all worked.
Well, she met up with Jim Martin through, I guess, a friend that said, I'll find somebody for you. And she
Yeah.
did. She found Jim Martin. But lo and behold, when she went to the gym, which was, of course, at that time, all men at the boxing
Yes.
gym,
Yes.
and uh, Jim Martin was very surprised that she was a woman. You know, he was
Yes.
like, "Oh no, I didn't sign up for this." But
Correct.
aside from that, he thought to himself, "Okay, well, let's see, let's see what's going to happen." So he was already going to be setting her up to get beat, take a good beating, right? To kind of get
Yeah.
her out of boxing because he just didn't really. Once he saw it was a woman, he was like, "Oh no, this is not going to work."
Yeah.
But
And he
when
was an odd character anyway.
he was very odd, yeah. But when he
Very odd.
got her in the ring and started sparring with one of the guys, he said, "Whoa, this girl's got
Hmm.
something. She ain't
Yeah,
just
it
a girl.
changed.
I mean, she knows she's got the makings, to be a good boxer, you
And she's
know."
good.
Yeah, and she's good. So even he that was like, "Oh no, I'm just gonna get her beat up, roughed up real good that she won't ever want to come back." He was like, "No, okay, I'm gonna do this." Because he did
That's
see
right.
something in her and
Yeah.
realized this girl's got potential. And we can
Yeah.
do this. We can work this
Lots of
out.
potential, actually.
Yeah, so that was good.
So
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 yeah,
now
and the
listen,
and the,
I
yeah.
can I can tell you this. Now, once she got hooked up with him, now that's where everything started rolling. But the issue was once she started getting famous and she started getting notoriety, that's when he started to become a little jealous. He started to take advantage. And I also noticed that that's in the beginning when Christy doesn't let anybody know about her secret. Okay. So Heather, you want to let everybody know about Christy's secret?
Yeah, so she was gay. But now with her coach, Jim Martin, when they got into a very close relationship, and she pretty
Yes.
much just was an open book to him. He knew about
Yes.
her past relationships with women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yes.
he knew that up front. Okay,
Yes.
and he accepted that, and they, like I said, they had a very good relationship. But as the time goes on, there
Yeah.
was a scene in the movie where she wins, she hugs him and in the ring and they kiss.
And that's listen, and that's the most terrible part about it because that shouldn't have never happened. But also to Heather, come on. We knew that he knew that she was gay, but I
Yes.
really didn't think that he cared because he wanted to be involved in her. So he didn't care either way. He
Oh
was going to
no,
make sure he was going to be there.
he wanted to be in her life and
Yes.
profiting from this.
Yes, girl. He wanted
So there
them
was,
chippers. He wanted that money.
yeah. So I'm not just saying like there was a chemistry or anything. I mean, they were so excited about the win, the kiss, but it wasn't like, a so-called, passionate, like, "Oh, I'm in love with you." No, it wasn't like that. And they had a very large age difference as well. I think it was like
Yes.
30 years. So, and
Woo!
yeah, and Christy, Christine, she was called Christy too. I mean, as a young girl, she knew that she was gay,
Yeah,
and
she
I know
knew.
her parents and her family, like they probably knew, but it was never something they spoke about. They just let it
Correct.
be,
Yeah. They
it
didn't acknowledge it at all.
did not acknowledge it at all.
And
No.
if you notice in the movie, that was one of the things that she was angry about. She was
Yes.
angry about them not acknowledging it. And I think in some ways she was angry about not acknowledging it. Okay. She was angry
Yes.
about not acknowledging it. So,
Hmm.
just so many
Yeah.
things going on. So many things
Yeah.
going on. So now let's let them know about in the movie where she started to kind of, in a way, denounce people being gay, making snide remarks. And I think more of
Mhm.
this happened because the husband kind of egged it on, which once again,
Yes.
he knew she was gay, but it's a little weird
Right.
there. He knew she
Yes.
was gay, but he kind of wanted her to stir the pot about people
Yes.
being gay.
Yes.
I didn't really
I
understand that with him.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get her to rile up the opponent by making these
Uh-huh.
derogatory remarks to get them mad, you know, and which wasn't, a good thing to do. But and like you said, he knew that she was gay, and her doing
Yeah.
that, and her concern was at one point, it's like, I'm doing this, but I am gay, and maybe
Hmm.
someone's going to come from my past and say, hey, you are, putting down gay women, but you're gay, or you were
That's
gay,
right.
so she was afraid. She always lived that with the back of her head, thinking, oh, somebody might
Yes.
come out and say, oh my gosh, she's gay,
Right. Right.
because back then it wasn't as open as it is now, more accepting
Right.
of it.
Correct.
So, and they were trying to promote her, and she wanted to get fights, and she thought that that would cause a problem if people knew
Yeah.
that. She wasn't being
Yeah.
true to herself. And then
That's
she
right.
ends up
Not at all.
marrying him, which I think it was more of convenience and
Correct.
for him more to control her, you know.
Yes. Very
Yeah,
controlling, very controlling. Folks, you got
very.
to see this movie. He was
Yes.
very controlling. The
Yeah.
videotaping in the house, he had an answer machine on every phone. He even for her cell phone, he was
Yeah.
monitoring all the calls, every call that came in, every call that came out. He was monitoring the bills. He really became very, very controlling.
Hmm. Yes.
Okay?
And
He
and she
became
had
very
a
controlling.
she did have a strong personality, but
Hmm.
I think some of it she did hold back because she had
Yes.
feelings, I think internal feelings that she was battling with,
Yes.
that she was really struggling with, that
Yes.
really didn't come out, maybe towards, more towards the end of the
Yeah.
story, where she starts
Yes.
being true to herself, and going through
Yes.
those
Yeah.
struggles made her realize at one point, I'm
Yes.
at where I'm at. I'm going to be who I am going to be. And it took a lot of courage at that time, because she was a high profile female boxer, and coming out and people knowing
Yeah.
that she was gay, she felt like
Yeah.
she was taking the chance. But I guess we'll get to that part, because
No, no, no. We're gonna get to that part for
yeah,
sure.
because
So
then
now look at let's
I can expand a little bit more about that,
okay.
later.
All righty. So
Mhm.
we're gonna go ahead and switch gears. Now let's talk about let's talk about how the controlling becomes physical. Okay. Because what happens, folks, is that Christy starts living a double life. She starts having a side relationship while she's still with her husband with another young lady. And then Jim and her end up having an altercation. And then this altercation, she ends up becoming stabbed and shot by Jim, which in turn gets us to the court case. Okay. Now,
Yes.
Heather, let's talk about this court case and let's talk about what she talked about Jim and what he did in court.
Okay, so I think something that was very important that I wanted to bring out. So right before the
Mhm.
court case, before she got beat and stabbed and shot,
Yes.
she had a friend, high school friend, who she cared very much, a female friend,
Yeah, Sherry.
named Sherry. And Sherry reconnected with her before this
Correct.
incident happened through
Yeah.
Facebook. And so Chrissy was really happy that she had reconnected. She asked her husband, "Do you mind? I think I'd like to go meet up with Sherry. We haven't seen each other now, mind you. He knows about her past relationship with her, right?
But he also knew about Sherry as well.
Yeah, yes, because because Christine had
Yes,
told him everything. She was an open
correct.
book. She flat out told him everything. So he said no, and she said, he goes, and if you do, I'm going to kill you. He threatened to kill her, but
Yes.
she ends up leaving for a couple of weeks, meets up with Sherry. As soon as they see each other, they kiss, they reconnect. There's love there, instant, right? They
Yeah.
rekindle this love.
Yeah.
And he kept trying to reach her, the husband, to get her to come back. He even called the mom up to tell your daughter to come back. Look at her. She's running off with this woman. She left me. And so the mom, a lot of times, would back up the husband, which Christine was very upset about. She felt like her mother never really supported her the way she needed to do. To make a
Yeah.
long story short, she comes back after a couple of weeks. He comes home. That's when she ends up telling him, she's not happy in the relationship and she wants to get out, and he's not happy about it. And she ends up calling, I don't know if Sherry had called her, but when he came in the room, he wanted to talk about, I guess, argue and fight. And she said, well, I'm on the phone with Sherry. We'll have to talk later. Well, that infuriated him. So that's when he left and he got the knife and the gun, and he did those awful things to her. The only thing she remembered before she got shot was she was telling him, I want to live. Please don't kill me. I want to live.
Yeah.
Shot her.
Yeah.
And then he escapes. And then, the police come and they take her away. So she went through a lot of things. She was a strong woman. But going back to the case, so now when they go to the case, they do have a pretrial hearing, and I did see
Uh-huh.
Gloria Allred was there.
Really?
Yes, that was Gloria
Okay.
Allred. She was in the courtroom with her. Yep,
Hmm.
she was there. And so it ends up going to trial, and
Yes.
her husband gets 25 years.
25 years.
25 years. And, he's an older man,
Hmm.
about a little, when the story began, he was about 66, but he got
Hmm.
25 years. And they said by the time he could get out, if he lived that long, he would be 92 years old. So he
Correct.
ended up getting attempted second degree murder and
Yes.
attempted
Second degree.
manslaughter. And
Correct.
they and he appears in this documentary. They interviewed him from jail.
And he's
You know,
such a weird character. He's
oh,
a
he's
weird
just
character, teeth missing. He
yes,
tries to justify. That's what was terrible about it. He tried to justify everything that he did. Every nasty thing he did to her. Oh, I made her. It's not a big
yes.
deal, but it is a big deal that I created her as a
So,
person.
and
He was just
yes,
nasty. He just
he
wasn't a good guy at all.
and he
He just
was.
wasn't.
There was no remorse
None.
whatsoever. No,
None.
he just said, "Okay, I did what I did, and I'm in prison." Like he was
That's
okay with
right.
it. Hey, I
That's
did what
right.
I did.
That's
He
right.
didn't say I did what I did was wrong. Yeah, I'm in prison now, but
Yes.
you know what? I should have handled it another way. You know,
Yes.
no, none of that.
Yeah.
He was not empathetic at all with her. So it was a good. I mean, such an awful thing happened, but
Yeah.
at the end, I mean, I don't know if we're going to talk about the end, but the ending is happy after
Yeah.
all the
And don't worry,
torment.
we're gonna get there. We're gonna get to the end.
Yes,
I would say that the ending was good. I think that at the end, of course, Christy ends up becoming in another relationship, not with
yes,
Sherry, because her and Sherry decided that they had outgrown each other, and she ends up starting a relationship with a young lady that she had a boxing match with before,
yes,
which
an
I
ex
thought was
boxer.
I never saw that coming. I never saw
Right,
that coming.
right.
But at the end, it looks like it's beautiful. What did you think about it?
Well, I thought the ending was nice because Christine ended up going back to her old home because it was her
Yes.
grandma's home where she grew up, and
Hmm.
decided to fix it up. She got married to the ex boxer Lisa,
Yes.
and it ends with them redoing the house and living happily ever after.
Yes.
So out of something, I mean, she had this fame, for what she did. Then she had all
Yes.
those troubles and turmoil,
Correct.
internal turmoils with that, husband, turmoil,
Yes.
and then at the end, it just dissipates, and then she becomes true to herself and lets
Yes.
go of things, and connects with this ex-boxer Lisa, which is
Yes.
funny because they were always like at it, when they used to box,
Yeah. But now
how
you understand why. Maybe there were feelings.
maybe there was feelings, exactly. So
Yes.
yeah, I thought the ending was really nice, and it was a happy ending. And like I said, it just shows what a strong woman she was, and all the things that she went through, all the ups and downs. And at the
Yeah.
end of the day, even through all that, she found happiness, she found her love, and
Yeah.
she found peace. And that's all you can wish for in life, right? Just to
Yeah.
reach that, state of mind where you're like, okay, everything's come together. Everything led me to this. And I'm sure
Yeah.
she's very appreciative and grateful of where she's
Yeah.
at now.
And I think honestly, I'm happy that we talked about this story because I think that there's a lot of people who live like this that feel that they can't be their true selves. And I
Hmm.
just wish that we would all understand that we cannot control how other people live. We have to respect how other people live. We should be respectful of that. Allow people to be however they want to be. I'm a true believer that God loves us all and he protects us all because if he didn't, we wouldn't all be here. And we all have our own personal journeys. And one of the things that I wanted you guys to see is these shirts that we're wearing. So, Heather, put your shirt up.
Oh,
We wanted to wear these shirts into commemorating Christy
hmm.
Martin for her being strong and being
Hmm.
powerful and being courageous and resilient in that time of her just going ahead and just being unapologetic and just saying, hey, you know what? At the end of all this, I'm going to live the way that I'm going to live. Okay? So I thought that the movie was great. I hope you
Me
guys go and
too.
see it once again. The movie is the movie once again the movie is um, Dealing with the Devil, Christy Martin. You'll be able to see it on Netflix. It is an hour and 18 minutes. It did come out in 2021, and it's a wonderful, wonderful movie. So listen, Heather, listen, once again, I appreciate you, friend, for coming on the journey with me as
I
always.
appreciate you too.
Okay, and we got another one. And we got another one down the pike. Folks, thank you so much for coming and joining us. If there's something specific that you want to see, either put it in the comments. If you see on the screen, you can always email me at jollystudios.gmail.com. And please like, share, subscribe. If you have comments, let us know. We don't know anything unless you tell us, okay? And listen, you guys have a wonderful evening. My friend Heather, have a wonderful evening. And guess what?
You too.
I'll see you next week.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for joining.
See you guys later. Have a good one.